everybody, welcome to another conversation on motherhood, education, and creating a learning life at home and bringing intentionality and creativity into this space that we call home. And I really believe that as ladies, as women stewarding life at our homes, it's so important that we come into it with such encouragement because it's not easy. Am I right? Let's start our conversation with just talking about what is a curriculum, right? People use the word loosely, but I'd like us to just think a little bit deeper because that in itself will help you and free you. Because we think of curriculum, just pop into your head. When you hear the word curriculum, what do you think of? Okay, I think of CAPS curriculum, the IB curriculum, I think of the Cambridge curriculum. We usually think of like a particular pre-designed program that follows a set of content areas, skills to be acquired, and a flow that is step by step and very systematic. A lot of work goes into the creation of curriculum for learning, and a lot of research informs these decisions. And there's usually a worldview, an approach that is behind the creation of these curriculum. And sometimes when we don't know what it was created for and why, we jump into it and sometimes it doesn't work for us and we wonder, we don't even know why. When people ask me about a curriculum, I usually think of the three things. When people say, what curriculum are you using? They're asking, what plan of action do you have that will guide and give attention on a daily basis of what you are doing this homeschool year. Am I right? Or people are asking, what are the skills that you are building? What is the content that you'll be focused on? And what will be your approach to learning that you'll be adopting this year? Lastly, I think that when we think of curriculum, we are asking ourselves, what will give me focus as I flesh out the vision that I have for my homeschooling? Before you even select resources to help us, I think you can tell that a curriculum is more than the brick and mortar, like the book that you choose. It is about the vision you have. It's about the goals that you've set for the year. And that is going to help you with these choices as to whether to use this or whether to use that. Because then when you go into the forest of decision making and gathering things, before you click buy, before you download, before you see your friend enjoying something and you grab it and you're like, I'm using it. Before you do all of that, you would have done your homework and you know yourself, you know your family, you know your child, you know where you're at, you know what you want to build into. You've taken time to think about where your child is. Which areas does he need to grow in? How does this child learn best? You need to study your child, and that's why I really encourage making notes, taking notes about your homeschooling journey, because next year when you are making a decision about what to buy, there will be clarity and a tangible something to hang that decision on. The importance of a clear vision for your homeschool. That is very important. The vision can be what you have sat and thought about, that this is important to our family. This is what we want to see at the end of the day. It can be general, it can be long term. And whether your child is in school, by the way, or not, I would encourage you to do this exercise of sitting down and writing a vision for your child's education. So here's ours, okay? So that you can understand some of these choices that I'm about to share with you. The education of the whole child, okay? Not just academic, the whole child as a unique individual made to love God and enjoy Him and give glory to Him. We nurture and build lifelong learners who are innovative, creative, and full of wisdom, and who hold steadfast to truth, beauty, and goodness, bearing lasting fruit that blesses others and impacts nations. That is our homeschooling vision. Every decision we are making has to hang around this. Now, bringing it down to the goals for that specific year, because this is the umbrella around us, right? What we're building into, what we want to see. But there has to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timeless goals. And that usually is for this year, for this child. This is where they're at, and this is what we're going to be building into. So we want to know in different areas of my child's life. I wanted to take a look at, hey, what were the things that he was really doing absolutely wonderfly in the year? What are the areas that we need to build, whether it's in character-wise or in some academic thing? What do we need to build up? What do we need to encourage more of? And what are the sort of nuances that I noticed that make me think that certain changes need to be made? I'll give you an example. End of last year, I made a decision to switch my son over from a math program that we were using. There's an airplane going off. We were using a math program called Math UC. I had used it for my 2 older children, and then for my daughter, I switched her over to a online program called Showman Math, and then obviously this year she's in school. But for my youngest, Elijah, I switched him over to Singapore Math because he was so tired of the monotony. Not that there's anything wrong with Matthew C, but I could see that the lights were not going off. It just was not sparking joy, if I can put it that way. And I started researching math programs, understanding who he is. He loves to problem solve. He loves to get into things. He likes to do things because they matter. And so we made the change. So that simple studying of my child helped me make another decision, because at the end of the day, isn't my vision to build a lifelong learner rather than to just, I must tick the box? So your vision will inform you, and that knowing your child will give you a specific goal to go after, right? I know that my son does not enjoy a lot of writing. He can write well, he writes neatly, but he does not enjoy it. And I have said to him that he needs to build that muscle. And so that is a part of what informs me. I really want him to persevere through certain things and attitudes that he needs to persevere in. So there's also character things that inform my curriculum choices, and a whole range of things that me as a mom I've been exposed to. Obviously, in previous years, we were part of a community called Classical Conversations that gave me a love for classical education. So in this year, I am incorporating a lot of things that come from our experience of 11 years of homeschooling into this 12th year of homeschooling, about what learning means to us and how we want to approach it. Stick around with me here on this channel, because I will share more of that. There's more to this than I can share in one video. More of the things that I've learned about learning, that maybe there may be good handles for you. But when it comes to curriculum, all I'm saying is that it is informed by something, your own life experience, you as a family, the things that you value. If you are a family that loves the outdoors, man, please do not be sitting on your bum the whole day then, right? So your curriculum is informed by a whole lot of things. It is going to be a tool in your hands, not you a slave to it. Very, very important. Your curriculum is also going to be something that you adapt to your child. So the curriculum is there, and it is there for you to use, but as you're using it, you are using it in a living way. You letting it come alive, because your child is going to respond to it. Remember in the last video when I spoke about taking the time at the end of every week to note questions your child is asking, to note things that you're observing. Those are the places that the curriculum becomes a whole opening up. It opens up rather than becomes a rigid linear thing in your hands. It is so, so, so important. I don't care how great a curriculum you get, the best of the best, if you don't use it as a tool and actually help you pay attention to what is happening as you're using it, the ideas that are coming to you as you're using it, the response of your child, the questions from your child. Let the curriculum serve you, because that's where the life is. Use your environment, use what is around you as part of your curriculum actual curriculum resources, because your whole home, the people around you are a resource to you as well. Because people normally think of books and things like that. No, think of the people with expertise around you, the people with passion around you. You will want to expose your children to real life interaction as part of fleshing out a beautiful curriculum and learning journey in the year. And I also want to encourage you, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid that you're going to make the wrong choice. Don't be afraid of that, right? Don't be afraid, and don't get on a panic frenzy at all. Build into where your child is at. Keep in mind, I always did this. Some people may disagree with me. I do keep in mind grade level skills and things to be acquired. So ever since I started homeschooling, I kept in mind, oh, my child is going into grade R. Not that grades are what binds us, but I think, oh, my child's going to grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. Okay, this is round about the time when kids acquire this and acquire that. And I keep that in mind. I keep in mind that I have an idea of what's happening in grade 7 for my son. I know that we are going to exceed it, but I do love to have a certain benchmark in my mind, and then I'm led by my child, I'm led by our vision, I'm led by the things that we value, and we go for it. But that's just me, okay? The other thing I want to just encourage you by is just find some values for your year, right? Find some things that you really want to value. These are not specific to just the books or the academics. This is about the kind of culture, those intangible things that you want in your homeschool year. In my previous goal, you heard me mention these 3 C's: connection, celebration, and creativity. Those are 3 things this year. It is all part and parcel of our vision, but it's just, for me, I like just having these words that are in front of me, right? Connection. In terms of, I've always had this, that it is more important while you are engaging with the material, that your connection with your child's connection with the great books, their connection to their learning, their connection to connecting dots, previously learned things being pulled into your learning, right? Helping to connect the dots and connect with the learning, a love for it is so important. The other thing for me is celebration. Can we celebrate every win? Can we celebrate and be very intentional about drawing out the things that you see in your child that is worth celebrating? I cannot tell you enough how much it is important to give that kind of celebration, whether it is celebration in memorable moments like how we started our homeschool year, but celebration in terms of just, hey, I see you. I actually see you doing this. Maybe you weave in, celebration can be woven into how you assess your child. Find things to celebrate. And then for me, creativity is just the fact that I am not in a box, and neither is your child. Live outside the confines of expectations. Live with freedom. Live with exploring. Live with curiosity. Live with that sense of adventure and a sense of discovery that will enrich your homeschooling. So can you see that before I show you all of these resources that we've picked for the year, there's a lot that is informing my homeschooling, and I want to encourage you, take the time to think about these things. And it's not too late. I know you're ready and going with your own curriculum choices for this year, but I promise you, if you put these behind the scenes legs and wings to your curriculum choices, you're just going to fly. Okay, this was long, but it is very important. I don't like giving people quick answers that actually give you an illusion of something that just isn't there. I am not a perfect mom, but I do believe that in the years of homeschooling, sometimes people don't tell you the stuff that you need to know, and I really feel you need to know this. So now, let's go diving into these choices, and we're going to take it subject by subject, okay? But as you know, we are living beyond all of this, and the world around us, we are constantly finding opportunities to learn, and we are just making this bigger, freer, and hopefully the goals that we have for each of these subject areas will be achieved.